You just know that those are the people that would order like a fucking family-sized pizza and a Diet Coke, and you're like, you're literally about to die. It's 8 in the morning. It's perfect time to do this shit. Hello. Tell me all the stuff. Tell me all the stuff. Oh my god, you look so lost, but I think we just found you. Do you like that new entrance? Am I even sitting in the middle? I don't know. You guys are gonna tell me if behind me is burning up, right? You signal me, yeah? I relied on you. No pressure, no pressure. What I realized, I literally just woke up about to have the last meal, you know, about to prep the breakfast, have that last meal for a Friday, and I was like, wait, but I never actually told people I've done probably 10 plus with them so far. I've never told people why I do them, why I find them fascinating. So what better way to do that than to give you 7, because I couldn't make up 10 and it was more than 5. So yeah, 7 facts about our last meals, and let's here I'll be talking about the US last meals. So in the US, in the states where death penalty is still an option, let's say you commit a murder, you face the trial and you face the jury, and the jury is technically your executioner. They're the ones that decide. You will go ahead with the trial. There, at the first trial, they will find you either guilty or not guilty. And then you will have like a second trial where they just bring the verdict of, are you gonna serve life in prison? Are you gonna go on a death row? If you go on a death row, you can sit on it for a couple of years technically, because they obviously have to give you right to have appeals, you know, the lawyers might be working your case, so it might actually take you a couple of years of you just sitting on death row. There are innocent people out there sitting on a death row for 10 plus years, but they're also the guilty ones. But then at some point, if your appeals fall through, you don't get a life sentence or a shorter sentence. In that case, your execution date is set. And here we come to the fact number 1. Last meals might not be your actual last meal. In certain states, they are referred to as special meals. I mean, they technically should be referred to as special meals. It's just that the public kind of made them last meals just because it sounds cooler, right, than a special meal. Okay, anyways, just because it gives it like that dramatic entrance, like, oh, it's your last meal, and then you go off to the gallows. Sometimes you can have your last meal a day or two before the execution. Usually it is what you kind of see portrayed. You are kind of like dispatched into your holding cell for the night. You have your last meal. Usually they get rid of you. You have like a lethal injection, or Kansas, for example, still has gas chamber, like we're in a fucking civil war or something. Sorry, Kansas, okay? Dorothy, I'm so sorry about you. God, move on. What is life? Okay, went off track. Most states have either electric chair or lethal injection. So usually you're kind of like in a holding cell overnight. They wake you up bright and early. Then you have your last meal. If you're going on an electric chair, they need to shave your hair and all that nonsense. And then like you go on a death row. But still, from my research, from state to state, it depends whether they're going to give you the special meal a couple of days before, or whether you're actually gonna have it as like your last breakfast. Second fact is the one that people misconstrue the most, and that is that you can splash out. It's called a special meal, right? I can have anything. No, you have a budget. There are states that are generous, kind of average is probably 30 to 40 bucks. Florida is at $40 right now. And then there are states that are stingy. Oklahoma being the stingiest one, where the budget is 15 bucks. So better commit crime in Florida. Anybody does it there anyways. Again, not just that, but you can't just go all out in the sense of like, yeah, I want things from like 20 different places. You need to either stick to local businesses. So yes, you can do KFC like John Wayne Gacy did. You can do like McDonald's. You can stick to like, hey, bring me a mint chocolate chip ice cream like Timothy McVeigh, which I doubt that they serve in prison. But that brings me to the fact number 3. And that is that in most cases, your last meal will be prepped by another prisoner who works for the kitchen in the prison. So, you know, better be friendly with them, I guess, otherwise they might spit your food or get to poison you before you even end up on a death row. Which, yeah, that is one thing that I wonder, has it ever happened? No, I will have my revenge. No, you're about to die like 10 seconds from that. No, I don't care. So you know when you send the request for your special meal and you're like, hey, this is what I want, they obviously review it. see if it's within budget, but also see if there's something unorthodox on it. You know, if you have requested alcohol or weed, anything that's too out of their reach, then they're just gonna deny it and offer you a substitute. Obviously, they're not gonna offer you less alcoholic drink. It's more like, yeah, they're gonna be like, hey, can you choose a meal? People are gonna be like, Bailey's and ice cream. No. There was actually a cook within prison called Brian Price who made over 300 last meals for the prisoners. So, you know, you won't get like Chef Ramsay, but hey, at least... What the fuck? So hey, you won't get Chef Ramsay, but even Ramsay, stop it. So you know, you won't get Chef Ramsay, but you know, even if you get Brian Price, you're technically lucky because you can always get a newbie starting in the prison kitchen, just making your last meal as their first meal there. That brings me to the fact number 4. Booze is not allowed. For obvious reasons, because they don't want rowdy inmates. They don't want somebody who is going to fight them as they basically walk them to the death row. Especially imagine like 4 electric chair, because they have to like shave these people. They have to actually have them in a state of calm for them not to resist. And I genuinely think this is more of a case of an image, because obviously for executions you usually have people behind the glass observing it. So I think this one is more to do with like how they look to the public rather than, hey, actually I don't want you to drink because I'm a great human being and you don't deserve to be addicted as like on your last day. And alcohol is just too bad for you as your last meal. It's just, you know, from a personal point of view. But obviously more kind of like 70s and you know 50s and like back in the past. But as you can see from my channel, there's a video on John Speckelman. There the warden was just like, hey, yeah, take a couple of sips. There the warden allowed it. The warden was like, yeah, take this for the nerves. It's gonna be chill. Just, you know, take a couple of swigs. But yeah, they won't get you blasted. But yeah, even in that case, it's mostly illegal right now, but also, yeah, they won't get wasted. So don't go out committing crime if your goal is to get wasted on a death row. I know, surprise. Fact number 5 is that usually last meals are fattening. As you could see from a lot of my videos, they're most often fast food. And there is this photographer that has done a lot of pictures of last meals. I'll include it here. And people have actually done studies on them. And they have said the average for last meals is 2,756 calories. People don't usually care about, you know, their last meals being fit after the last meal. Like, they're dying, they're going all out. And in 70% of the cases, people requested junk food. And also 16% of people requested Coke. And then there is like 3 inmates, those losers that requested a Diet Coke. And you just know that those are the people that would order like a fucking family-sized pizza and a Diet Coke. And you're like, you're literally about to die. You really caring about your sugar levels right now? Those people are those kind of people on the death row as well. In my personal opinion, yes, they request junk food because it is comfort food, but also because it kind of reminds them of the period where they were happy in their life. So like John Wayne Gacy did order KFC, for example, and that is because he used to work for a KFC restaurant. Or again, people go specific, like Teresa Lewis, who went for, you know, the chicken wings, so like something that she cooked and loved herself. Usually people go for comfort, but also something that reminds them of like their happy days. This brings me on to the fact number 6, and that is, are they still a thing? And in 60% of the world, yes, including US, but still other countries as well, yes, they are still a thing. However, the usual policy is don't take a piss with your last meals, because Texas banned them since 2011. No, not the death penalty, the last meal. That was their choice. And they banned it because of one such guy as Lawrence Brewer, who went all out and then didn't eat majority of it. This is what he ordered for his last meal. 2 chicken fried steaks with gravy and sliced onions, a triple patty bacon cheeseburger, a cheese omelette with ground beef, tomatoes, onions, bell peppers and jalapenos, a bowl of fried okra with ketchup, 1 pound of barbecued meat with half a loaf of white bread, 3 fajitas, a meal lover's pizza, 1 pint of Bluebell ice cream, a slab of peanut butter fudge with crushed peanuts, and 3 root beers. So yeah, that was allowed because everything is bigger in Texas, right? Even its last meals. I'm gonna get so much hate, it's great. So the senator at that time, John Whitmer, actually abolished it. He was like, yep, this is taking a piss. So right now, you know, if you decide to commit crime in the US, you might as well try another state, because if you end up being in Texas, you know, your last meal will probably just be some burnt toast, eggs if you're lucky, and that's a plenty, isn't it? And there's nothing more depressing than already dying and not even having like a decent last meal, right? Yeah, I know, I feel it. Oh, I feel it in my chest, that's why I'm feeling crime. Cool. Fact number 7. The last one is, why do we do them? Maybe I should have started this with that, but no, why do we do them? My philosophical answer after reading plenty of articles is for justice system to kind of show you that they're better than criminals, right? It's that moral dilemma, or if somebody was to kill your loved one, then would you kill them too because that would, you know, make you a killer? Well, here they kind of still have the death penalty, so yeah, they're gonna kill them anyways. So this is their version of that. It's like, hey, at least let's give them one last meal as like a showcase of decency. So it's all about the dignity that we give to the condemned, because last meal will probably be the last decision that they make on their own accord, and will kind of have like that last bit of freedom and ownership that they have, because everything on death row is on schedule. So, you know, they're gonna wake you up, be like, cool, do this, go there. Everything is kind of like on a strict schedule, because they have like your execution date and time as well. This is quite literally the last bit of ownership that the prisoner might have. Now obviously there's other things. So from the medieval times they thought like, hey, let's give people last meal so that they don't come and haunt us in the future. So they're like, we need to avoid ghosts at all costs. So yes, at times they exist because of the spiritual, and then even in modern day states like Louisiana, for example, it is more to do with religion. If you picture, you know, Christ's Last Supper, you kind of feel like, hey, they're at least making peace with their executioners. So for example, in certain countries, the warden still might invite you to share your last meal with them and the Christian fellowship, or you can actually have another inmate have a meal with you. So I think I made the right conclusion when I said it is all about giving you, yes, your last decision, but also them feeling like they have done better because they gave you the liberty you didn't give to your victims. Those are the 7 facts for you, my dudes and dudettes. And that is it for this mini. I'll see you on Friday. Whose meal am I eating? Keep your guesses coming and drop down in the comments whose meals would you like me to eat next. But until then, I have nothing else to tell you, nothing else to say. So this is a goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, bye. Oh no, this is my better profile. Goodbye.